The face of the Tour has changed as consistently as the scenery. The contenders have shown their face. The new players appear with every stage. In Stage 9, Alberto Contador displayed his climbing prowess, while Levi Leipheimer waited in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to attack. Cadel Evans and Andreas Kloden have left their mark, and Michael Rasmussen in yellow remains a contender. Alejandro Valverde has situated himself perfectly, while Alexander Vinokurov has his work cut out for him. The Tour has left the Alps, but now the Pyrenees loom. The battle lines have been drawn, and the fight continues with Stage 10 right now on Versus.
London seems like a long time ago. Some of the rain we had before that would be nice down here. That's not going to happen. Straight south, Tallard to Marseille, a long stage under the boiling hot sun. 2 Cat 4s and 2 Cat 3s at the end. Strong men to the front, and I think a breakaway is going to succeed. 229.5K.
Paul, does it bring anything to mind?
Well, it does. It brings it to mind Philadelphia to Washington, 142 miles. Last time we came here, it was a breakaway that succeeded. Jakob Piel got the better of Fabio Sacchi. 2 small sprints, 2 fourth category climbs, and 2 third category climbs. A long, hard day in the saddle, I would say, for everyone in the Tour de France this afternoon. But still, the question is, will the French get a stage?
The gaps are forming. They're fully committed. 2.5 kilometres to go. Vasseur comes back on. We are 5 again.
Well, look at that. Albacini straight onto the wheel of Jens Voigt. He knows who the strong man is. But I tell you what, Cedric Vasseur's getting himself ready for another little move here. He's in the ideal position to launch the surprise attack there from 5th place. He'll wait for a slowing and see if he can hit them really hard and get the gap.
Well, Albacini has melted into the group again, waiting to see who else is willing to attempt the sprint, because I think he packs the finish required today. 2 kilometres to go. Albacini swings wide and takes a good look at the riders. This could be a World Championship sprint final here on the velodrome now, as nobody knows quite what to do.
But what a fantastic run into the finish as well now, because it's pretty much straight all the way down towards the run-in. There's a couple of little roundabouts they have to negotiate, but from the final 2 kilometres, it's a straight crack at the line. It's straight from the final kilometre, straight from the final 2, but still, it's the cat-and-mouse tactics now. We're at 1.6 kilometres to go. Jens Voigt flicking his wrist, asking somebody to come by. Well, I'm sorry, Jens, at this stage of the game, nobody's interested in working anymore. They're all just trying to find the wheel of the man they want to follow in the sprint.
Vasseur won't sit there too long. We've got to be careful now. We're getting into 1.4 kilometres. They're looking for the red kite, which is the 1,000 metres to go. Whoever opens the sprint will surely lose the race, and they know that. Albacini wants the second wheel of whoever is in front, because he looks like the sprinter today. There it is, the bridge over the road, and look at that for a sprinter's finish. 1 kilometre. As far as you can see, the finishing line awaits.
Well, Jens Voigt now is going to be forced to lead out the sprint. Albacini knows who's the strongest man in the race. He wants Jens Voigt's wheel for the lead out. The Frenchmen lined up in 3rd, 4th and 5th place. They're dreaming for glory for France. And once again, they seem to be more worried about who's going to be the first Frenchman, because Cassar looks over his shoulder to see Algon. Vasseur is sitting pretty there in 5th place, but Jens Voigt, you watch him when he starts to wind up the sprint, because he is the big powerhouse of this breakaway.
And this could be a slow motion sprint here now. They've thrown everything at one another. That hasn't worked. Now it's down to a pure sprint. Albacini, the way he's riding, you see, tight on the right barrier. They can only pass him on the left. He knows that. He's letting Jens Voigt stay there at the front. The 3 Frenchmen have gone off on the right together.
Well, I think you're right. You know, Albacini seems to be the man who's got the explosive finish, but they're going to back it off. They've been away for so long. It's got to be a short sprint. They've got to wait. They're inside of 400 metres to go, and still they haven't started.
That's a short sprint.
Is very short. They haven't even started yet, but look at the Frenchman starting to get out of the saddle. Voigt is looking now to start winding it up.
Algan he's missed Vasseur up the other side. Vasseur switched, and everybody is watching Algan. Now he's ripped away on the left of the picture, Vasseur. Albacini's come through the middle here now, taking on Cassar. He's got to reach Vasseur, and I don't think he's got it. This is going to be a very tight finish, and Vasseur made the move. Albacini looked at Algan, and Vasseur went up the inside.
Well, that's the second stage victory for Cedric Vasseur. Their great win for Team Quick-Step. It was a brilliant move by them, and he waited till the last possible moment, and he went right up through the barriers. These are the next 2 riders on the road. This is Staff Shearlings from Team Cofidis and Paolo Bassoni. This should really be a formality for the little Italian Italian sprinter there, because he really has got a great turn of speed. But Staff Shearlings wants this quite dramatically, but Bassoni, I think, has given up the ghost.
He tried, but he sat up. Shearling says, no, it's mine today. At least Shearling rides for a French team. And Bassoni coming in there in 6th place. But what a terrific win that was. And there's the victory margin. And France got 1st and 2nd at the end of the day. You see, Cassar 2nd, dropped on the climbs. If you don't get rid of them, they bite back.
Well, look at that.
The standings again, the magic of the peloton, allowing 11 men to break away that cannot challenge the yellow jersey if the peloton does its job, and they did just enough today.
3's a charm for Quick Step. Cedric Vasseur just barely getting in front of Sandy Cassar. Albacini, Algon, and Voigt fighting out that final sprint. Staff Shearlings, Paolo Bassoni following about a half minute later. Marcus Burkhardt, Kushechkin, that's the race. The rest of the breakaway early. Grifko losing the plot entirely, 3:47 behind. And the peloton led by Chavanel at 10:36.
We'll get to the yellow jersey in just a moment. The general classification presented by Michelob Ultra, nothing really changes among the top 10, and that's the way the peloton keeps it.
Absolutely. Michael Rasmussen, a very reasonable day in the saddle, delivered to the line by his teammates on Rabobank. Nothing totally out of the ordinary like we saw on almost every stage last year. Rounding out the top 10, Kieran Kirchen, Levi Leipheimer, Andreas Kloden looking dangerous, 3:50 behind in 8th place.
Here's a look at the Americans. Christopher Horner, 9:11, George Hincapie, Van de Velde, Rodriguez, and David Zabriskie, 1 hour and 42 minutes back. Well, one of the things